What's up, everybody? Welcome to Airbnb Day Heffrey. Boy, everything's just going to shake, huh? The Airbnb's platform of a desk has a little shake to it. So just don't worry about it. We're just not going to worry about it. We're going to try to be very still and not mess anything up and hope that the Wi-Fi holds up. You guys can ask any questions you want about Cowboys camp in general, about today, whatever you want to do. I got notes. That's what I do. I take notes. Let me see here. Make sure I'm on the right day. 8-6. We're on the right day. So hello, everyone, and welcome. Did you watch America's Sweethearts? I did not. Oh, I need to make sure you guys can't see my credential. That's against the rules. There you go. Get your little boobs there. Also, it is the media party tonight. I have to go buy a shirt with a collar on it. Otherwise, they may not let me in. So I got to do that in the next hour or two. But good evening and hello, everyone. Let's talk about some Cowboys football. Today's prestigious award winner of Jeff's POD, Player of Day, is a tie between two people. I know I put Micah Parsons in the title. He is not part of the tie for the Jeffrey Player of the Day. Today's Player of the Day is tied between Jourdan Lewis and Jalen Cropper. Those are our players of the day. I guess I should do some shared screen and show you some of the plays, but you can find them on Twitter and whatnot if you want. I tweeted out some stuff at Time for Jeffrey on different plays. But I'd say if it's a meritocracy, if we're doing who is the best player and who's had the best camp and that's who's going to make the football team, Jalen Cropper makes the football team. We do it every year with a wide receiver. We find a guy that's like, oh, you wouldn't believe the number. No, this is every day, all day. First team, second team, third team, whatever. When they need to play, let me see. Let me see here. Which ones did Cropper do? When they were doing 2-minute drill, Dak was hitting Ferguson, kind of working their way down the field, but they got down to where they were 15, 20 yards out, 10 seconds left in the game. And guess who? Jalen Cropper, touchdown. Later in the day, Dak to, what is this? This is team, yeah. Jalen Cropper. Guess who? The dude just makes plays. And he needs to make the team. But I don't know how, because here's the wild card about what Jalen Cropper is doing. A lot of the stuff that he's doing and the plays that he's making are from being lined up wherever CeeDee Lamb would be lined up. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. But if it's a meritocracy and we're keeping the 5 best receivers, he's one of the 5 best receivers. Jalen Cropper's an NFL player. He deserves to be on the field for an NFL team. Okay? Great. If you're another team out there and you're watching this video, as I'm told that does happen, if you're another team, trade us somebody for Jalen Cropper if we're not going to keep him, okay? You got too many defensive tackles, too many defensive ends, trade us one for Jalen Cropper. You hear me? People out there? Otherwise, we'll just put him out there. Kick your ass. Jalen Cropper's been good. Jourdan Lewis has been really good in this camp. He had an awesome diving interception today. He had another one where he climbed the ladder to break up a corner route in the end zone from a reasonable amount of the ways out there. Jourdan Lewis is having a wonderful camp. He seems to fit very well with what Mike Zimmer wants to do. He's out here kicking ass and taking names. So is Deron Bland, although Turpin did hit him up for a touchdown today, right after he made a great play, right after Bland made a great play. Deron Bland is wonderful. Jourdan Lewis is wonderful. Jourdan Lewis also had some rush stuff today. He would have had a sack on Dak on a corner blitz. Jourdan Lewis fits well. He's playing well. Your guy's balling. That's happening. So that's my co-players of the day. Is Jourdan Lewis and Jalen Cropper. Dallas Cowboys insider Jeff Cavanaugh recommends fantasy owners pick up Jalen Cropper. That's not what's happening. Will I do my Jerry and Steven impressions for them at the media party? I will not. How do you think they would respond to that if I just walked in and I said, Steven, obviously, at the end of the day, it's good to see you. And then I said, hey, Jer, I got to tell you, and I do, then I will tell you, and I don't mean not to be tried. I don't mean to be tried, but boy, them sushi rolls, they hit, man. That is a good sushi roll, and I like them a lot. That's good. What about defensive tackle? Defensive tackle's our trouble spot. There's a chance that this defense is going to be absolutely freaking awesome. And then we're going to look at defensive tackle like, you sons of bitches, are you guys stopping us from being a good defense? Mozzie, I do think, is getting better. Mozzie's coming along day by day. Rodgers and Carl Davis look like, yeah, you could put them out there to play some NFL snaps at nose, but none of them is a league average starter, I don't think. Mozzie's obviously got the most potential to be. They're, according to Mike McCarthy, is still trying to get a little bit of weight on him, because the way he explained it is, your rookie season is so long because it's like you finish your senior year of college and then you have to get ready for the combine where you're training to run 40-yard dashes instead of, although I don't think Mozzie did the combine, but then you come to your training camp and your football season, and plus he got hurt and blah, 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 blah. So Mozzie's still trying to get some weight on. That's what we're doing. And he's got the most potential, obviously, of the defensive tackle group, but that is the group that and defensive end depth is what could stop this team from being a freaking awesome defense. The starting corners are wonderful. The starting safeties are very good. Starting pass rushers are wonderful. I think the linebacker room is going to be good. It's just a matter of, are you good enough at defensive tackle? With the three nose tackles that are fighting for spots, and then Ose is a good player, but behind him is Chauncey Golston, who he's one of my, like, Michael Gallup. I really like Chauncey Golston and what I see from him in terms of the person. I'm like, man, I want to cheer for that guy. He seems great. But he's not a real defensive tackle when teams want to run at you. He's a good athlete at D tackle for rushing the passer, but your interior's a little iffy. Jeff Cavanaugh reporting Cowboys no longer need CeeDee Lamb because of a guy named Terrence Cropper. No, that's not happening either. It's not happening either. How much would it take for us to say we are getting enough from the DTs? I don't know. I mean, I think for now, they're probably willing to keep playing this out and see a preseason game or two and just know that Linval Joseph is hanging out and not doing anything. And you can always have him if you want him. But I think you want to add to that group. I think you either want to add to that group. You could add, even if it's not a nose tackle, if you find a way to acquire a guy who plays the other D tackle spot, the 3 technique, then we can move Chauncey Golston to edge. And now we've shored up that too. But the rest of it looks really good. Can Turpin actually play running back snaps? He'll play some, not many, like maybe a handful a game, but it's kind of more of a throw you off. What are we going to do here? And then it's a surprise when we hand it to him. But he'll play some of them. He'll play some. I will say, running back Zeke looks better than he did the last time he was here. I'm not saying that they should have signed him, because I still don't think they should have, because it's just awkward. Because even if he should be cut, I don't think they would, because it's Zeke. But he looks better than he did last time he was here. He probably looks better than he did in New England. But Rico's the best runner. Who keeps making some random plays is Snoop Connor, but it doesn't matter because we're not keeping that many running backs, and so you don't need to know that. I don't know why I said that. Who has a better shot at making the 53, Cropper or Tyron Billy Johnson? If they think that Cropper can only play the spot where CeeDee's going to line up a lot, that might work against him. And Tyron Billy Johnson, they're probably more comfortable lining him up out wide. I would just keep the better player. And with all due respect, Billy Johnson has had a really nice camp. He makes plays pretty much every day. But the last 2 or 3 practices, it's just a Jalen Cropper show every time it's 3rd or 4th down for the first team or the second team. The dude just makes freaking plays all day. Uh-oh. Give me your top 5 Cowboy players and their respective Lord of the Ring comps, please, sir. Okay, Rico Dowdle. And that would be Mary. I'm just thinking of someone who's underrated that nobody really thinks about, but it's good. Did Mary do anything good? What about Pippen? You do anything good? Micah Parsons who's the kind of weird, little bit unhinged, kind of a drama queen, but awesome at helping them get stuff done. Is that Gandalf? Is that maybe Gimli? Gimli's got a little prima donna to him. We'll say Micah's Gimli. Legolas. Dak's Aragorn. He's the guy that you want to be the face of the empire, take over and run things. Who's his wise advisor? We need a Gandalf. I don't know. I quit, but I tried my best. Are they running more rub options and screens? Lots of across the field stuff. Lots of it's weird to say rub action, but they have done a lot of scoring when they get down deep with guys that are, you got the outside guy who's coming in and then we're shooting underneath and they're hitting that shooting underneath guy for a tutty. There's a lot of that stuff happening. Other things from practice today. Jourdan Lewis was awesome. Trey Lance continues to be, they're going to give him all the snaps in the world. All the snaps in the world to see what he's got. But I think the odds are you traded a 4th-round pick for somebody who's never going to play for this football team. Is the starting running back in camp now? Probably. Because here's the exercise. You tell me who the other guy is. Like who's the running back that you would bring in that you're 100% sure is better than everybody you got, and he's going to get the majority of the carries? Because I don't know if that guy exists, right? Like, oh, here comes Cam Akers. Do I know that he's better than everybody else? I don't know. He's just getting thrown in the mix with everybody else. You already got a bunch of dudes here. So unless you've got a name that is like absolutely positively that dude's better than everything we got, I don't know what the point is. You're just going to run guys. Now, if Rico gets banged up, I think you've run out of running backs who can have any sort of juice. And that could be a problem. Who are we worried about on the offensive line? Well, we got to figure out who's going to play left tackle. Tyler Guyton was back out there today, but he was kind of limited. He did his individual stuff, but he did not do team stuff. Brock Hoffman's been solid at center, but there was a little bit today when they would send Micah down the middle, and it's like, uh-oh, you can't block him. But hey, who can? I think Cooper Beebe's coming along. He's coming along. So your left guard is the best in football. Tyler Smith is such a freaking stud. Zach Martin's wonderful. Terrence Steele's been fine. And then center and left tackle is the we'll see. That's what's going to determine, is this offensive line better than it was a year ago or not? You're not going to be better at left tackle. Maybe you could run block better at left tackle, but Guyton as a run blocker is where you really need him to come along. And Hoffman, I don't think is a move people so much as he is a position blocker. So can BB take the job before preseason ends? Maybe. I mean, that's a preseason game thing. Nothing out here would point to that happening, but he also, it's brand new. It's a brand new position. He's got to continue to get his snaps down once again today. Plenty of good snaps and some where you go, oh, he fired that one over somebody's head. And ooh, that one was way off to the left. So I'll say it's not impossible, but I wouldn't bet on it. If I had to bet on who's going to be the starting offensive lineman, I would say Guyton's going to start at left tackle as a rookie, and BB will not start the season starting. He will start the season as a backup guard, maybe ahead of TJ Bass, and as the potential center. Was Frederick a move people guy? Not really. He was more of a technical guy, and it's weird because he played center like he was a good athlete, but his combine numbers would say he wasn't a good athlete. Guyton will be an immediate upgrade over Smith in the running game plus passing game. I think that's very dismissive of how effing incredible Tyron Smith played football last year. He was awesome. You couldn't move people at center. I would say he wasn't a great run blocker. He was a good run blocker, but he was basically flawless as a passer. Tyron Smith was incredible last year. At least we don't have to worry about Tyron Smith getting hurt this year. Yeah, well, Chuma's already missed practice, and so is Tyler Guyton. So if we're just going to pretend Tyron's the only guy who can get hurt, lots of people get hurt. Offensive linemen get hurt. Tyron does get hurt more than most. I know. What else we got today? Let me think. Position groups. Linebackers are fun, and they look good. Wanye Thomas got to run with the ones a little bit today. They just had Donovan Wilson. A lot of their vets, every once in a while, they'll be like, just hang out over there for a bit. They've done it with Tank. They did it with Donovan Wilson some today. They did it with Osa some today, where they're just like, you're good. One more thing, Mike McCarthy. I just want to get this out there. I like Mike McCarthy, and I think he's a really good coach. And I've said it before or hinted at it before, but you want takes? Whoever's in here yesterday, like, you don't even have takes. I got a take for you. Mike McCarthy's a damn good coach that is way smarter and detail-oriented and dialed in to the things that matter in coaching NFL football than he gets credit for. How about that? When you just hang out around him and listen to him talk about things, he's very good at giving his team the best chance to stay healthy. He's very responsive to knowing the data on literally everything to do with his team. It's week 3, and he even said something along the lines of this the other day, where he was like, yeah, I mean, if you're, 28% of your practice is red zone, but then you get to, week 2, week 3, and we're not doing well in the red zone, well, guess what? Then we're going to try 45% of red zone for our practice time. And like, he is dialed in to the exact number of mental mistakes that young players make in a given setting compared to the year before. And then going back and like, okay, are we doing anything different, or is this just variance, or what's going on? Mike McCarthy is a detail-oriented, smart, current NFL head coach. That's your take of the day. If you hate on Mike McCarthy, it's because you just don't like something about him at the podium. He's a good coach. He's a really good coach. Now, like about 30 other guys, there's some stuff that happens during the course of a game where you're like, hey, idiot, this is the time to call a timeout. But that's probably literally every coach in the NFL. Like, I know I've watched Patriot games where I'm like, Belichick, what the hell are you doing? And I've watched Steeler games where I'm like, Tomlin, what the are you? So there's a take. Mike loves him some Hunter. Yeah, Hunter Lipke's going to play snaps. He's going to play snaps. They'll use him red zone. They'll use him in 2-back sets. They'll use him as a moving around tight end. They'll use him in a 2-minute drill because he can block and be a receiver. So there's that. Why do we have so many penalties every year? Ask Sam Williams. You got to take people out of the damn game if they mess up and if they consistently mess up. I don't know. Mike's good. He's a good coach. Is that Dave's house? No, this is my Airbnb. I might stay at Dave's house 2 nights from now before I depart home just to get closer to LAX, but I might not because I also have this Airbnb, and what a waste. And it's a lovely Airbnb. This is just the living room section. My bedroom's upstairs. My kitchen's downstairs, and so is my laundry. All right. I got to get out of here because I have to find a collared shirt or they're not going to let me in Nobu for Jerry's media party. I need a collared shirt. I don't have a jacket either. I'm also wearing a t-shirt with cuss words on it. It's my last shirt before laundry time. I know Brian will be your driver tonight, so you can get smashed at the Jerry party. That is true. Now, technically, I'm his driver. He doesn't have a car. I do. So I will be picking him up and driving him to Nobu. And if necesito, he will drive me home, yes, because he's my football dad. All right, cheers, everybody. If it isn't too much trouble, I would love if you would just hit the thumbs up button. If you would hit the subscribe button if you're not already there. If you would hit the dingy bell for notifications so that you don't miss a live, it would sure be appreciated, Your boy spent all his damn money to get out here for camp. Your support matters to me. Remember, you have no idea what anyone's going through, so be cool to everybody. I love you. Be easy.